So have you ever had a system that you'd set up just perfectly and it was humming along, working well, and then all of a sudden one day someone throws a wrench into the whole thing and you gotta go back and fix it all? Well, if you're over the age of 50, you're gonna wanna listen to this video. Hi, I'm John Norberg and welcome to the Financial Prof series. So in 2025, the way that catch-up contributions for your 401k plan work is going to change. And there's some pros and some cons to this, and today we're going to break that down a little bit. So what is changing, and first and foremost, what even is a catch-up contribution? Well, if you're contributing to a 401k, typically if you're over the age of 50, you have the ability to do what's called a catch-up contribution. And the idea is that because you're getting closer to retirement, the IRS lets you put a little more money into your retirement plan. So right now in 2024, the standard contribution is $23,000 over the course of a year. That's how much you can put into a 401k. Now, if you're over the age of 50, you can also put in a $7,500 catch-up contribution. That's another $7,500 on top of that $23K for a total of $30,500 that you can put in as someone who's over the age of 50. You can do this as an employee, you can do this as a business owner, doesn't matter. You should be able, as the participant in that plan, if you're over the age of 50, put in $30,500 in 2024. In 2025, if you are between the ages of 60 and 63, you are now allowed to put in a greater catch-up contribution. What does that look like? Well, in addition to the $7,500, that amount is actually going to change. And it's either going to be $10,000 or 150% of the current catch-up contribution. So if the current catch-up contribution of $7,500 remains unchanged next year, then at a minimum, you should be able to put aside an extra $11,250 on top of the $23K base standard contribution. Now, these amounts are going to be indexed for inflation, which means it's very likely that in future years, all of those amounts, the $23,000 that you can do no matter what age you are, the $7,500 you can do if you're over the age of 50, and the 150% of the standard catch-up contribution, or again, $11,250 using current numbers, if you're between the ages of 60 and 63, are very likely going to go up. But along with any good change, the IRS has kind of got to muddle things up a bit and make life interesting, right? So there's another side of the catch-up contributions that's also changing. What does that look like? Well, starting after 2025, if you do catch-up contributions of any kind, the $7,500, the $11,250, no matter what, every dollar of that catch-up contribution must now go into a Roth account. And the theory as to why they're doing this is, well, some people think it's to get those tax dollars now, but it limits what you can do to shelter your income in some of your highest income earning years, which for most people is around the time that they're towards the last 10 or 15 years of their career, right? Makes sense. One of the things that we've talked about on this channel quite a bit is the Roth account and how great it can be once you actually do get to retirement, because those dollars come out tax-free. But if you're used to putting the max standard contribution plus the max catch-up contribution into your traditional 401k and taking that 30 grand or so deduction every year, things are going to look a little bit different, and you might find that your tax bill is going to be a little bit higher than you expect if you don't do anything. And the reason is because you can't deduct what you put into a Roth, and the government is now going to be requiring you to put those catch-up contributions into a Roth. Again, it is a good thing in as much as those dollars will never be taxed again after you do take them out, as long as you follow the rules. But it sucks in the year that you do put it in because, again, you can't take a deduction even if you wanted to starting after 2025. So maybe this is a good time to sit down with your financial advisor and take a look at your financial plan, specifically the tax planning piece and how that fits into it. And if you haven't really talked about the tax planning piece with your financial advisor, maybe it's time to seek a second opinion. Here at Norberg Wealth Management, we work with a lot of business owners and, as a result, 401ks and 401k participants who have questions and who might not even know what they don't know. Something I hear a lot. We'd love to take a look at your situation and see if we might be able to add some value, be of some help. And in the meantime, I will see you out there.